2008, the Wills and Armstrong families imported Riverine buffalo from Australia. Their goal was to launch a cheese-making business that would generate a good income from a small area of land. They now have a milking herd of 25 cows, based north of Auckland. They make a range of soft cheeses and yoghurt from the buffalo milk that are sold at the Matakana Farmers Market.
We've got two properties, one up at Whangaripo, where the milking cows are. That's about 50 acres. And we've got the block we're leasing here, which is about 80 acres. Well, it's about 150 in total, but there's some forestry on that as well. We were looking for a retirement plan, one that actually could involve the whole family. Initially it started off with the idea that we would make mozzarella, which seemed to be perfect in that you make it one day, you sell it the next week, and a fairly good turnover. But I think that in a vertically integrated business like this, you need to have a way of dealing with all of your product. And so we've gone into a range of cheeses, some of which are the quick turnaround time up to a week, and others where the cheese will mature over 2 years. We like doing it. I think we probably underestimated the amount of time it takes. Sort of 80 to 100 hours a week are not uncommon. But I think that's because some of us are working 2 jobs. These calves were our 3rd crop from the cows we imported 3 odd years ago. Australia is further advanced in milking buffalo than we are. There's quite a big operation down in Melbourne. We got hold of this guy in Queensland, up around Mackay, and got 18 in-calf heifers from him. And we bought a bull from another guy and another bull from Simpoke in Brisbane. We've been trying to track down all the genetics in there. The Australians have bred the original swamp buffalo, which were grown feral in Northern Territory, and they've crossed those with Italian and American bloodlines. And so the ones we've imported were our first cross, Riverine over swamp, and then the latest ones we've got are now up to 7/8, and the 2 bulls we got are also 7/8. So it's just a process of gradually working towards the Riverine. As far as the bull calves are concerned, we haven't sort of sold any off as animals. What we're looking at doing is steering most of those ones, apart from the ones we select for potential bloodlines. And we've had the first of those slaughtered. And so we're just really testing the market to see how that meat goes down. It has quite different characteristics to ordinary beef. It's sort of a finer grained, less marbled meat. But yeah, with the samples we've had so far have been very good. For such a big animal and carrying such an impressive rack of horns, they're a bit imposing. I think you have to back yourself with them, but generally speaking, their temperament's good. You just have to stand your ground with them and they'll back off. But they don't work for dogs the same as beef cows. They'll actually chase dogs, certainly a single dog around the paddock. If you might get a pack of them, they might be different. But no, they're pretty good. They probably would prefer to be led rather than being driven. Health-wise, we've tried to do the absolute minimum. I think they've evolved without much interference from humans, and we're trying to keep it that way. We've been minimising any inputs. We're trying to get as organic as possible, and they seem to be very, very good calvers, very easy calvers, and we haven't had any interventions there.
The Wills' daughter Annie came up with the idea to try farming buffalo for cheese here.
We'd just been to Italy, thought buffalo, we could farm them here. It's a great dairy country, New Zealand, so maybe we could do something along those lines. So that's sort of how it started, and within sort of 3 months of coming home, we'd kind of got the ball rolling on that. Buffalo's got fabulous milk, so it's A2, it's high fat, high protein, low cholesterol, high vitamin A, and really high calcium. It's a really great milk, and we don't have it here. We've got sheep, we've got goats, cows, obviously. So it was just something to do a little bit different. We went to Over the Moon Cheese School, and that was fabulous. Equipment, not really a huge, you can't just go up to a store and buy a whole lot of cheese equipment. So that was a few contacts, talking to Italy, and just finding again the right people to help along the way, and getting things custom made was a big thing.
I find them quite intelligent, inclined to mischief. They have a very good line in no, as in, no, I'm not going to let down, or no, I'm not going to walk across the road. Yeah, but enjoyable. In the sheds, I always tie one foot down, otherwise they just take the cups off. They'll take the cups off 20 times. With strangers, definitely skittery, more so than a dairy herd, I think. With what they know, they are very quiet, very gentle. From the 20 cows, I'm getting around 65 litres at the moment. So it's not a big litrage. With this shed here, we converted it from a 14-a-side Jersey herringbone. We put in a wriggle rail and put 10 buffalo in at a time. I only use one side of the shed, and I don't know that it would work using two sides, because I could have buffalo standing around longer than I want, and then they're inclined to make mischief. The cups are the same. The pulse rate has been slowed, and the vacuum has been changed as well. I think it's a slightly lower vacuum.
We're making a pecorino style cheese. It's a hard cheese. We age it for about 12 months. We've got a blue cheese called Marin Blue, and we have a buffalo brie, quite traditional, gets very strong, nice and young. It's quite hard, and it gets softer and more delicious as it gets older. And we have a grado, which is buffalo milk labneh yoghurt, that's been pressed with some salt and garlic, rolled in herbs and olive oil. The Matakana market is the only market that really we sell at. We have gone on from there to some small, like Farrow and some other small ones at Karaka and down in Hamilton. But we've kept it relatively small until we know we can supply. So we'd hate to promise something and not be able to deliver. So we've just kind of taken it in small steps. A farmer's market for marketing purposes is fabulous. You can't beat it. You talk directly to the public. They get to know you. That they're very honest about what is going to work and what isn't. So there's no putting it in a shop and waiting for feedback. They tell you immediately. We do tastings every week. Yes, we like it. No, we don't. We'd prefer it this way. And we take all that on board and walk away with it.
This program was made with funding from New Zealand On Air.